My legs are toast. You could eat eggs and bacon off my legs. That's how toasted they were. I can barely walk. Again, you could spread strawberry jam all along my legs because they are toast. They are just put it in the oven, turn the knob to 400 degrees, toast. I just ran a downhill marathon in the pouring rain. 26.2 miles, completely, utterly drenched. Let me tell you how that went, whether or not I got injured, what my final time was, and my experience running Revel White Mountain Marathon 2025. My name is William, and I'm a marathoner for whom this is my 5th marathon. I'd signed up to do this race with a couple of my friends, and so we drove out on Friday around noon for a race that started on Sunday morning. The drive was super beautiful. This marathon is located pretty close to where we all live. It's in the beautiful mountains of New Hampshire, and it's spring in New Hampshire right now, so everything's just about in bloom. We're driving through scenic highways, going through quite a bit of farmland, passing by covered bridges. Look at this covered bridge. This is beautiful. Just a gorgeous drive to our Airbnb, which is a small little cabin in the woods. In the afternoon, we go get some groceries. We're cooking for dinner on Friday and Saturday, so we stock up on ingredients for cooking, and I stock up on bread and Gatorade. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm gonna grab sourdough loaf, pure carbs. I'm just gonna have this for the next 2 days. Gotta get the carbs in and stay hydrated throughout the weekend. For dinner, we cooked burgers and sat outside on the patio where it just about started to rain. We're having dinner right now while it's raining. But we're gonna eat fast and hopefully get the food down before the rain ends. Before the rain starts. Couldn't quite finish our burgers in the rain, and so we rushed inside for a magical Friday dinner. Look at that sunset. I get up pretty early Saturday morning around 4:30 a.m., which is good because the race tomorrow on Sunday morning is going to start at basically 2:30. We'll have to get up around then to take the 3:30 shuttle and then wait at the start line for an hour and a half before the race starts at 6. Good morning. It's 5 a.m. I've been up an hour, but I finally mustered the energy to get out of bed, stop scrolling my phone. It's day before race day. In less than 24 hours, I will be running down a mountain. That's super exciting. So I wake up Saturday, Andrea and Lydia get up around the same time that I do, and we start our morning shakeout run at 8 a.m. We're doing our 2-mile shakeout run right now. Shit.
The navigation on this run has been a little spotty. Yeah.
Okay.
0 stars on navigation.
0 stars on navigation.
And not planning.
Oh no. We just run around our Airbnb. It's again just gorgeous. We're just in a beautiful portion of the Northeast Kingdom. Just finished around 2.5 miles. Gonna do a couple of strides and then bring it in. Shakeout felt okay. Didn't feel tired at all, which is good, but obviously I kept it slow, so I wouldn't have any reason to feel tired. It is a gorgeous day out. You can hear the birds chirping behind me. It is just beautiful. I'm excited to check out the expo soon. Overall, I'm just feeling pumped. So pumped. Such a lovely morning. After the shakeout run, we get some breakfast before heading out to go to the expo. Now I have to say, I ran this race last year, and this year's expo was a lot worse than last year's expo. I just remember there being more vendors at the expo and we got more things in our race bag. For this year, the expo was located sort of in the hallways of a resort, and the structuring of the hallways was just sort of crowded, not as much room as the open arena we were in last year. I always love race expos, so I was a little let down by this one. But it was really cool seeing some of you guys, marathoners and half marathoners who had watched my last video and came up to me during the expo. I saw my name on this huge list of all the runners. Yo, that's me. Picked up some pace bands. I was potentially gonna buy new shoes just because the shoes that I had bought felt a little flat, but in the end I decided against it. After the expo, we go back to our Airbnb, cook some dinner, watch a movie. Lydia brought the movie The Guardian, and man, that movie is just a shot in the heart. It is so sad. Great movie. I definitely recommend it. Maybe it put me in the right mindset for Sunday. It's a movie about deep sea rescue, and I guess both in the movie and in the race there was a lot of water involved. So maybe that helped me get mentally prepared for being soaked. But after we watched the movie, it was around 8:30, and so we all just headed to bed. Okay, it's Saturday night, almost 9 p.m. So I'm just about getting ready to go to sleep. I have the stuff that I'm going to be wearing for tomorrow. Weather forecast is around 50 degrees. Probably some precipitation, some rain is scheduled, so I'll have a couple of layers that I'll shed off in the morning. Race bag, I picked up a couple of pace bands. I think I'll decide tomorrow morning which one to wear. Super excited. I will see you tomorrow. Good night. 2:36. Marathon morning. Yo, I'm so tired. Sunday morning, it's race day. I wake up at around 2:15. I intended to wake up later, but I guess I was just excited, a little nervous, obviously, but I just got my outfit ready. I'd already packed most of the things the night before, double-checked the gels that I had, and we drove off to the race. Huge shout out to Kevin for driving me, Andrea, and Lydia to the race in the morning. Kevin was here for part of the weekend for moral support, and he got up at 2:30 to drive us to the race before heading back and getting some much needed sleep. Okay, so for this whole trip, I've been checking the weather. Last year, when I got up there, the weather was around 40 degrees, maybe 35, but it felt colder because of the wind. And so throughout this week, I've been checking to see what the weather would be like at the top of the Kinkamagas Highway. And earlier on the week, it had said 30 degrees. And so I was thinking, all right, let's bring a lot of layers. Let's prepare for feeling like it's 20 with wind chill. It gets better throughout the week. And Friday night, Saturday when we check, the forecast says 45 degrees, pretty warm, with just a slight chance of rain at like 3-4 a.m. right before the race starts. So this is like optimal, right? I'm happy, I'm excited. We get out at 2:30, it's not raining, so I'm thinking, oh, nice. It's not even gonna rain at all. We get onto the bus. Everything continues to be pretty smooth. I meet a fellow runner, Derek, who's sitting next to me. Talk to him about how it's his first marathon. We drive for 45 minutes up the Kinkamagas, and as we near the top, we hear raindrops fall onto the bus. The whole bus collectively groans. It's just kind of funny because we're all runners and we all know what this means. And then it stops raining. The raindrops get quieter and we all sort of breathe a collective sigh of relief. It feels like we dodged a bullet. Maybe it was just a passing shower. But as we exit the bus, it becomes pretty clear that it is still raining outside. Thank you. You too. It's raining. Oh my god.
Weather update. It's raining.
Yeah, so I am thinking to myself, prepare for a little bit of rain during this race. Oh, how naive I was. Let's just prepare for a little bit of rain, right? We walk to sort of the start area and it's just a scene from like E.T. because everyone's wrapped in this shiny, reflective emergency blanket sort of thing that Revel provides in our race bags. It's just everywhere you see are people huddled around under trees. People are like huddled underneath the Enterprise truck that carries all their gear bags. And it's so funny because there's just like hundreds, probably 1,000 plus people wearing these shiny bags, just like trying to shelter themselves as much as they can from all of the rain. I managed to go to the bathroom 3 or 4 times. Unfortunately, they aren't successful for me, which does not bode well. I am someone who needs to go to the bathroom successfully before a race, and that isn't happening right now. This is just the most cursed, miserable start you could kind of imagine. I'm sure there's worse starts. You could be, in freezing, windy weather too. But for what we were expecting, for what I was expecting, a clearish start, maybe with a little bit of rain, this was bad. Yo, this start is so cursed. People are holed up in the tent there, all the way back. There are cars, people in like these emergency blankets. It's cold. I mean, it's not that cold, but because of the rain, it's just not great to stand out there without shelter. 5:33 right now, so roughly 30 minutes away. I'm gonna get changed soon, warm up a little bit. I wasn't able to get the ideal bathroom situation. I went to the porta potty 3 times, but maybe something about the rain, something about how I'm feeling. I didn't eat that much breakfast. Not optimal, so I hope that I won't have to go on the course. We'll see whether that checks out or not. It's funny, I actually, for one of the times I was in the porta potty, it was actually like a sigh of relief because I was shielded from the rain for a little bit, which is crazy because porta potties are obviously not the greatest place to be. Right about when the race starts, I get some warm-up laps in, just kind of jog in place a little bit. I don't want to run too far, too much, just because I don't want to get my shoes all soggy, and there's not really anywhere to go. I get in line, the race is about to start, and then Revel calls a delay. The cops haven't come up the mountain yet, and apparently they needed the cops to be there for the race to start. So there's a 15-minute delay, and this might have been something I disliked, except for the fact that I took this opportunity to go to the bathroom one more time, the 5th time, and that was the one where things worked together. And so without it, I might have had to go to the bathroom during the race, which would have obviously been way more unideal. So I am thankful in the end. But 15 minutes of extra wait time in the rain. I try to huddle in that sheltered overlook for a little bit. And because actually someone's blasting music there, I didn't get to hear when the race actually started. Luckily, it's chip time, so it doesn't really matter. But I start the race a little bit later than I would have hoped or liked to. So in an ideal situation, I would have started the race with around the 3:05 or maybe even 3-hour pacers. But because I started it 2 minutes after those pacers had already started running down the mountain, I was just weaving through people for the first 2-3 miles. These miles were super fast, super downhill. My heart rate was at like 140, 150, even though I was going at 6:30 pace, which is probably the fastest I've ever run a 5K, to be honest. All throughout this race, it is just raining. So I guess 2 miles in, my feet are completely soaked. My socks are just waterlogged, and it's a vibe. Honestly, it's not that bad once I'm in it. Of course, my body is getting warm, and so it's not as cold as it was at the start where I just had the rain on my clothes and soaking into my skin. First 8 miles felt really good. The initial 5, again, were super downhill. I was running that at like 6:35, 6:40 pace. After that, it gets a little flatter, slowed down a little bit. And then there's an out and back. The first part of which is uphill, second part downhill. That's like its own 1.5 miles. Sort of helpful for me just to give a little bit of a break for my legs. At the out and back, I saw that I was probably 4 or 5 minutes behind the 3-hour pacing group. And so at that point, I already got the goal of running under 3 hours out of my mind. After the out and back, there's a nice stretch of 1 or 2 miles that are roughly flattish. I try to pick it back up, but I'm not as fast as I was at the start, for sure, and my legs can feel it. Because I started so late, I'm still passing people, which is nice, but now I'm in the throng of runners who are around my pace, maybe a bit slower, but there are also a couple people who are passing me now too. Miles 16 through 21, I'll say, are pretty nice. It's really just a slight decline, sort of a really nice grade to coast. My legs feel like they are slogging through it though. So coasting, while fun, is also sort of starting to get a little bit painful. A little bit of lactic building and some other just muscle fatigue really starting to show at this point. Mile 22 and 23 are getting pretty rough. Here, there's a stretch of people that are stopping to walk. I am just about catching up to the end of the half marathon now, so there's a little bit of people that I'm also trying to weave around. Yeah, it's something that I need to work on in the future, just like those last miles, how to keep moving and how to maybe push off the muscle fatigue until later. I'm sure that just means a lot more long runs and more quality long runs, but that's something I'll be working on in future marathon builds. Miles 24 and 25 are rough. They are, really making me think about whether or not I want to stop at this point or push it out. Here, I think I have a pretty good time in the bag, like under 3:05, so I just continue on with what I have. The last mile, there's just one little uphill right at the end of an otherwise basically all downhill race, and that kills me. That just crushes my legs. I don't stop though, and I finish strong, probably not as strong as some other people finishing around me. My legs are toast at this point. You could eat eggs and bacon off my legs. That's how toasted they were. Rain has become, a distant friend, someone who has been with me throughout this race, someone who I take for granted. I finish and I sort of just take it all in. I can barely walk. Again, you could spread strawberry jam all along my legs because they are toast. They are just put it in the oven, turn the knob to 400 degrees, toast. Just finished 20 minutes ago and man, my legs feel absolutely trashed. Oh my God. That was a tougher experience than last year. I think I started off a lot faster, ended up a little slower. I think last couple of miles were pretty tough. Felt my quad seize up a little bit. I think my IT band is gonna have issues for the next couple of days. I didn't take work off tomorrow and I'm revisiting that decision. We'll make a last minute call tonight. Finished the race in 3:07:30, slightly above my desired time of 3:05 and my super stretch goal of sub 3 hours. But that is a PB. I will take that any day. Feel pretty good about it. Definitely didn't have that much more to give at the end. For this race, it felt like my aerobic capacity was fine throughout the race. Just my legs didn't have what it took to bear the brunt of 26 miles of downhill. So that's something I'll be working on in the future. Hey, who knows? Maybe I'll be running this again for the 3rd time next year.
Why? Why? I don't know why. I don't know.
I get my stuff, lope around for like an hour. I'm actually able to catch my friends at the finish. And I bump into another person who's watched my YouTube videos. So shout out, I didn't catch your bib number or your name.
William, right?
Yeah.
Watch your YouTube.
Let's go! Oh, and we saw your YouTube video. Awesome. You watched it, right?
But it was really cool just to meet people who I've never seen in person and who saw my videos and saw that they were running the same race that I was. After the race, we head back and I shower and sleep, and then we get dinner, and then I sleep some more. It's Monday morning, the marathon is officially over, and what do you know, it's a beautiful day with no rain. My legs, I will say, are pretty trashed. They are not quite as bad as last year. I can't walk downstairs normally, I have to walk downstairs backwards. And I also think my left leg is a lot worse than my right leg. Take a look at this. That is a full-blown rock inside my shoe. I was cleaning up these shoes to pack them. It's gonna knock them against the wall. And then I saw this and I'm wondering to myself now, did I run with this inside my shoe for the full marathon? Because that would be crazy. That might also explain, like, partially why my left leg is feeling a lot worse than my right leg. Like maybe something to do with this rock and how it changed the form of how I run. Hopefully not, fingers crossed. But isn't it just wild? Like it completely fit in there. I definitely didn't feel this when walking and running yesterday. But maybe this was here the whole time. So that was my race. Right now, my legs are still recovering from being super toasted. I haven't run in a couple of days. I do plan to run soon though, because I have a half marathon that I'm looking to maybe do in 2 weeks. And I'm pacing a half marathon 4 weeks from now. If any of you are running covered bridges in Vermont, I'm hoping to pace that half marathon. I'd love to see you there. If you've stuck with me this far and have ideas about what kind of content you'd like to see, I'm experimenting, so let me know what you like and what you'd like to hear about. Peace. Thanks for watching.